What's going on, YouTube? This is your boy back with another video. Today we got a review of anime, my favorite anime right now, Demon Slayer. This one is season 3, episode 5, premiered this past weekend. It's called Bright Red Sword. Now, before we continue, smash the like button, smash the bell. You already know what the deal is. Okay, so we're coming off the last episode where Mochiro, the Mist Hashira, figures out how to defeat the Blood Demon art from the Upper Moon 5 with the CGI fish. He figures out how to eliminate them. So he saves the one of the Swordsmith Village members that he interacted with early in the season. And there's an attack on the village currently with the same Blood Demon art fish things. And so it's urgent that they get to this village to save all these people, of course. So on the way there, they see another swordsmith being attacked by one of the Blood Demon art fish. Michiro dispatches the fish real quick, and saves the guy. And it turns out to be the swordsmith he's been looking for, which what brought him to the village. And that's one thing about Tokido Michiro, whatever you want to call him. He is very matter of fact. He's always straight to the point. There's no gray area. So he finds out that, this is swordsmith. He's like, hey, you got my sword. This is what I came here for. And then they look at his sword and it's totally just chewed up, beaten up, ready to break at any minute, it looks like. So they really need him to get this sword because, you find the right demon, that sword will break. So they're on their way to his shop where he makes the sword to get the sword because he has his sword, but he needs to go get it. And boom. Upper rank 5 demon is there in the vase, and he's ready for all BS. Let's put it to you like that. This is, now you got Upper Moon 4 that's personally my favorite, the Hantengu demon with all the clones. And he's very interesting in itself, but this Upper Moon 5 demon is still very peculiar and interesting. Apparently, so he's some kind of artist that's into like fish and stuff like that, and his Blood Demon art is very interesting. So he starts talking about, oh, why do you guys want to be in this, go to this raggedy hut so bad? There must be something really important in there. So, that's anxiety right there, because this is the Upper Moon 5. He could probably just obliterate the whole shack in an instant if he wanted to. So, of course, Michiro, he doesn't take much time. He analyzes real quick. This is this type of character this is. He analyzes real quick. He's like, oh, this is the main body. This will kill everything. If I chop his head off, he's done. So he takes a swipe at him, and he disappears from one vase to the next. He literally teleports somewhere else in another vase that you didn't even see before. And he's like, oh, I'm still explaining my art, blah, 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 blah. Morichiro takes another swipe at it. This time he misses, but he breaks the vase. And this is what makes the demon kind of like stop joking around and mad and stuff like that. But before all that, he has this other color vase, and he's like describing how his art is, or whatever sick, twisted shit he's doing. And when the stuff comes out of this vase, it's very gruesome. He makes like some sort of flower arranged style, fountain style figurine made up of the Swordsmith villagers that he didn't kill, but they're like near death, and they're all like stuck together with these swords, and they're just completely helpless and in agonizing pain. And then he demonstrates something. Okay, so he twists the sword, and then you know how they had the mask with the spout mouth. The swordsmith villager at the very top shoots blood out of that mask like a fountain. And of course you got, I'm not good with names, I'm sorry y'all. So you got the two swordsmith villagers, the one that made Michio's sword and the one he just saved over there, you know, screaming, trying to get at him. They're just like, they can't believe this is happening to their people. They're damn near dead, but they're being tortured to death, basically. So this is the only time we see Michio get a little irritated, and the guy, he's done with the guy talking. He's like, "Oh, shut up," and then he does a little cool little animation, a little mist. I can't wait to see more with this. He does a little mist stuff, and he takes a swipe towards the demon's neck. He kind of cuts into it, and in the process, he cuts the arm. So then he does another blood demon art, and it's a vase full of water. He puts him in this water prisms, like some Naruto shit. Oh, I keep forgetting. Before this, he brings out these needlefish. The fish looks so cool. It's CGI, but it damn near looks animated. That was the first attack. He aimed it at Michio. Then, after Michio dodged it, he aimed it at the swordsmith villager that he saved. Michio blocks the attack with his body. So the needles are in his face and his body, all types of gruesome shit. I don't know if the needles were poison or not. That's one question I have. So this is what ends up happening to Michio in this part. He's literally stuck in this water prism. He can't stab his way out. He can't breathe, so you know, what breathing form is he gonna use? He can't breathe. So this is an interesting situation. But of course, I'm sure he's gonna be able to get out of this, like, I'm sure. Now, in the meanwhile, you had the love Hashira. She is going through the swordsmith village. She is just plowing through these blood demon art fish. She just taking them out like 5, 6, 7, 8 at a time. Her sword is really cool. It's like a big giant whip that she just cuts really fast and multiple times with. So she kind of just, it looks like the village is good from what she was able to do. Then she goes to this other area where this big giant fish is at. It has multiple pots on it. And he's already killed so many demon slayers. He's about to kill someone that's said to be the most skilled in the village. Like, he's literally hanging on to it with a thread, being crushed to death. And then she comes, she does her love breathing thing or whatever. And I didn't even notice how cool it was until the second time I watched it. Like the way she cut the demon up was very cool, how she did it at the end. Because at first it just looked like a regular attack to me, like how she been attacking everybody. But just the sound effects and everything, that was hot. That was cool. And then they have a little pervy moment with her because, you know, she's a cute girl with big boobs and all that. It's like, oh, you know, I'm so glad that you're here. You can, you know, because she's thinking that the guy's going to die. But he's like, oh, no, I'm good now. I'm in a beautiful young woman's arms. And the other guy's like, hey, I bumped my head over here. Come save me. So they had that whole moment. Now, we cut back to Tanjiro and Nezuko and Genya with the Hentengu Upper Moon 4 clones, giving them the business. So, if y'all remember the last time, they were knocked out cold by the fan clone. I think that's Pleasure. They were knocked out cold by his attack. So this made sense to me. And some people might think it's a plot hole, but it's already pretty much known that, I mean, you know they're not going to get killed right there. They're just the main characters. So you already know they're not going to get killed. It shows Nezuko picking him up and running, which would make sense to me because she's a demon. She would regain her consciousness or heal or whatever faster than Tanjiro. So she's picking him up, she's running with him, and Sekiro anger is dropping down that lightning boy. I gotta say this, he might be the most menacing one out of all of them. Because everybody else, you could do some sort of dodge or recovery or something like that. It's like, if he wants to shock you, you're just gonna get shocked. Like, that's how it seems with Sekiro. But Nezuko is actually outrunning the lightning for a hot little minute until she gets zapped. And then Tanjiro basically has to switch places with her because now she's out from the lightning and he has to pick her up. And now he's running away from Pleasure, the fan, who is like the second most menacing, because we already seen what his fan can do. You know, Tokido ain't been back since. So, you know, he's tearing this. He runs into this nearby section of the building, and it's just getting torn apart by this fan. And he's like just barely dodging it. And at the end, he does like a final sweep with the fan, and it just kind of just blows up that far side of the building. And Nezuko hangs on to Tanjiro's sword to stay connected to him, and they wind up underneath a bunch of rubble. Now Tanjiro is out of the rubble, and Nezuko is underneath it, but she still got her hand on the sword. She starts tightening her grip on her sword, and her hand begins to bleed. Tanjiro starts freaking out because he doesn't want to see his sister hurt. He knows she's still a demon, and this Nichiren blade that could really hurt her, potentially kill her. But Nezuko always seems to have a plan. That Nezuko assist, it hits different. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, she uses her blood demon art to set the sword on fire, and what might be the coolest thing you ever seen in your entire life. So now Tanjiro has this flaming red sword, and you could just tell he's in his mind. He's like, I'm not about to waste this power up. I'm going to fuck some shit up with this. I'm not about to waste this power up. I'm going in for the kill. That was on Tanjiro's mind. So he just thought about everybody that had got him to this point, and how they just want him to succeed, and how everybody's just rooting for him, from his sensei to Giyu to Tengen to Rengoku. And it's like this dramatic part where they all show them with their hands on his back. And then he goes into this breathing style after he presents himself to the Hentengu clones. He just goes into this breathing style. It looks phenomenal. And they resonate with Muzan's cells, so they're having flashbacks through Muzan of this style and this similarity that was from the Yorichi guy, and they're just recalling like, oh my god, this is just like the guy that almost killed Muzan, sent him running away. And they're just like in awe of what they're seeing. It's this big, huge fire coming out the sword. Tanjiro does his breathing technique. I think it was called Sun Dragon Halo Head Dance, something like that. That shit translated could have just said, you about to get your head cut off, because in a flash, this is the best part to me. In a flash, he cuts all three of their heads off. The guy with the fan, the guy with the scream, the bird one, and Sekiro, the anger one. He stabs right through before they can even attack. You see them charging up for their attack, but he does not let them attack. He just goes right through their neck, all at once, 3 in a row. There's this big fire dragon at the end. It looks so amazing. Oh, man, so you notice all 3 of their heads are just lopped off, but there's a 4th one, the sadness one. He's been over there with Genya. So you pan over to Genya. He's there. His hair is like yellow highlights. And he turns around and he looks just like a demon. It's giving the first episode vibes with Nezuko. Like, he looked like he's about to lose his shit. Like, but with that being said, he has the head of the sadness Hentengu demon in his hand. So all 4 of their heads are gone. So it's a big cliffhanger now, because like, what happens next? Is Tanjiro gonna have to fight Genya? Because he's like a demon now. Is Genya gonna explain? Like, you don't know what's gonna happen. Like, you still got the Upper Moon 5 over there with Tokido, and the Love Hashira has yet to come and join the main battle. So, big cliffhanger. I wish they would just drop this whole season or do like a 2-3 episode special or something. Gotta be like a damn crack fiend waiting for these episodes. But I give the episode a 9 out of 10. Very strong episode. So far, the only Demon Slayer episode that topped it was at the end of season 2 when they defeated Gyutaro and Daki. But animation was on full tilt. There's lots of development. It was so much fun. Tune in, like, and subscribe to my channel. Until next time.